this is about those property tax assessments and how they're done every 2 years. And the easiest way to remember in Colorado, they're done on odd number years. So let's just think back a few years. In 2019, 2020, Denver was insane when it came to real estate. There was lines out the door at open houses. Anytime a home went on the market, they'd get 10 or 15 offers that same day, usually at above asking price. Just a ton of chaos when it came to the Denver real estate market. What happened was, again, every 2 years, every odd number year. So in 2023, the last time we had these property tax assessments, there was a massive spike or a massive jump in what the assessors were putting out there for the assessed values of homes. All these homes that were selling at such a premium that was then also bringing up any of just the existing inventory of homes that weren't for sale, just where people were living in their homes. It was bringing up all of those property values as well. So 2023, a lot of homeowners, people that lived in their homes maybe for 20 or 30 years, all of a sudden saw a much more dramatic spike in these assessments. There was places in Denver where it was seeing as high as a 40% increase, which is crazy to think of. If you are on a fixed income and maybe you're great with your budget and just making sure that you're saving enough money to make your monthly payments, well, just imagine all of a sudden having that type of adjustment that you need to be planning for and capable of still being able to pay. So just a very, very stressful time to be a Denver homeowner in 2023. And now, in 2025, as you guys watch this video, we just had another round of these, but the good news, they were a much more tame level of adjustment compared to 2023. I have a lot of my clients that I actually help do free property tax assessments whenever these 2-year increments happen, just to help my clients and friends and family out with putting together an accurate CMA report, comparative market analysis, so that they can argue and push back to the city and say, you know what, you assessed it at $600,000. All these other comps are really closer to $550, so we think ours should be closer to $550. Just using this as an example to share with you how we have the ability to push back and hopefully get those adjustments made. Now, a couple more points to share on this one. So my current house, I live in Littleton, and I purchased it in 2023. So the first property tax assessment or adjustment just came in, a couple weeks back, and my property tax assessment actually went down. They actually assessed my home at less than what I paid for it, which obviously is never a good thing to see as a realtor, especially if it's my own home. But that's just an example, though, also of how real estate's a long-term play. And, it's really factoring in a lot of other things than just what's going on in the world and in the national and local markets here in Denver. I think it's really important to understand that there's a difference between what a market value is of a home, meaning what somebody else would pay for your home, versus this assessed value. The reason these are two important different things to know about, because the assessed value, it's really okay to have that low, even if you think you could sell for a higher dollar amount. And the property market value, you always want to see that as high as possible, because that's what hopefully somebody will pay for your home whenever that time comes. So again, just to close this out, we got market value and assessed value. What's most important is always to understand that there are a lot of other monthly expenses to owning a home than just initially purchasing the home. And a good example of this would be these property taxes. Definitely regret starts to sink in for home buyers when they already extend themselves as much as they want to comfortably when paying for that home, to only find out a year or two later, now what they've been expecting to pay on a monthly basis has gone way, way up, and now they're really stretched thin. So definitely just something to keep in mind, that property tax assessments every 2 years, and they can change depending on what's going on here in the local market.